I've got a special guest joining me today, Adam Greenbaum. He's a CEO. He started this company. We'll get into what it is. It's Whiskercloud, which sounds awesome on its own, and there's a lot of history to that.
You and I, we both have the big followings. We both care about this industry, so it's going to be a fun chat.
I've got a fairly good sense of what your history is and how things progressed to where you are, but I'm sure everyone would like to hear that story.
And I'm a guy who lives in Southern California. I was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, and graduated from UNLV, College of Business. And, I haven't had, it's funny, people, when I show them my resume and my history, they say, man, you've done it all. And I really don't see myself as this like Mark Zuckerberg type. I just, when social media first started, I fell in love with it. I have a personality that is, I don't know how to describe it. My in-laws would call it word vomit. I don't often think before I talk, and I think people really like that about me. And I just sort of I'm unable to lie. You could ask my fiance, if we're watching a TV show and she says, "Do you think she's pretty?" I'll say, "Yeah." So I don't really lie, and I kind of just speak what's on my mind, when social media first started, I got a job with an advertising agency, and this was before social media was even used by businesses, and built a career out of that. We won some awards. I took over digital analytics and did some strategy for LasVegas.com. We did Super Bowl commercials. We bought out the Yahoo homepage, and it was there. I was certified in Adobe Analytics and Google Analytics and Facebook advertising and sort of anything you could do in the digital world. And that position set me up for life. I kind of joked, all of the resources we had there, they sort of built these marketing robots at LasVegas.com where, they just trained us to do everything. And so now I find myself as a person who can do graphic design, who can do social media, who can do code, who knows web security, who does pretty much anything, anything you need in the world digital. I do it now. And before I launched Whiskercloud, I started an advertising agency that did really well, and I hated it. It was, it was a nightmare. If any of my former clients happen to be watching, I'm sorry, but couldn't do it much longer. And 2011, I started dog rescue because my two Boston Terriers are my life. So I started iBostonTerrier.com. Sort of taken a back seat lately as my life has turned into the entrepreneur life. So it's an exciting, wild ride. There's ups and downs, but it's fun. And I just fell in love with the vet industry, and we spent about a year and a half building Whiskercloud. And, here we are today with this incredible company, incredible employees, and it's just turned into something I never dreamed it could become. I still to this day, haven't lost a little bit of the passion I have for it. As I've been told too many times lately, possibly too much passion for it. And, it's been exciting. We've got employees in Colorado, Portland, Las Vegas, Long Beach, Las Vegas, Huntington Beach. We have someone in Philadelphia. So we kind of have people everywhere, and it's just been this fun thing.
You talk about your love for your dogs and stuff, but how did this veterinarian link occur?
Yeah, a couple things happened. This is sort of this confluence of events. So one, going back to 2011, we had the rescue, and what would happen is we were sort of the umbrella of the rescue. My site had been featured on Jimmy Kimmel's show. It was featured on the Animal Planet, Nickelodeon. So we had a lot of press, and here I am, just a guy who loves Boston Terriers, the smush-faced little clowns of the world. I have two. And my first dog ever was a Boston Terrier. He was stolen, and that was one of the hardest things I've ever dealt with. And so my mother surprised me with a Boston Terrier puppy about 6 weeks later, and I fell in love with Sophie. And then I rescued Baxter actually through my website. And Baxter, a guy called me in the middle of the summer in Las Vegas and said, I just got this Boston Terrier puppy, won't shut up. So here's a 6-week-old Boston Terrier puppy that this guy purchased from a breeder in Oklahoma.
Oh, geez.
This guy put him in a cardboard box in his backyard in the middle of the Vegas summer. So you have a cardboard box filled with feces in this thin, shaking little dog. And I said to him, I'm not leaving without that dog. And, Baxter, he has allergy issues. He's had some health issues. But him and I are just I'm connected with both of them. And, Baxter's had insane allergies. Every doctor we've seen has said, I've never seen allergies this bad. Wow. Believe it or not, we relocated to Southern California earlier this year. And oh my God, we figured it out. I've spent at least $10,000 to $12,000, and it was the perfect mix of Apoquel, a little bit of hydroxyzine, the Cytopoint, and we actually switched him. He was on a con of food, and we had a specialist say, get him on fish, no more. And it was Dr. Lewis who said, you know what, get him on the hydrogenated protein from Royal Canin. We're gonna get meat out of his diet completely, and it's worked. So here I had this little guy who spent his life wearing shirts and hoodies, and now he doesn't. So between having great vets who've helped with Baxter, having my rescue, we rescue thousands of dogs that in most cases needed to see a vet, and we had so many vets around the world that took good care of them, and then it just came from me having a sort of a chance encounter with a vet, and she said, well, what do you do for a living? I said, I own an advertising agency, which is what I owned before this, and she said, oh man, I wish you could have built our website. We overpaid for it, and I hate it, and we don't like the company that works for it, or that built it. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And then I met another vet and said, oh yeah, that's cool. I love the veterinary industry. I own an advertising agency. And she said, wow, I hate our website. Do you build websites? And I said, well, that's 2 for 2. And the same company built both of their websites, and that same company attempts to compete with us today. So it was kind of this funny roundabout way that, I care about the vet industry a lot. And I can tell you, I had a call today with a pretty well-known person in the industry. I won't say names, but him and I spoke, and he said, vets, they're not taught how to be business people, and it really shows. They're not taught to communicate. And I'll say a couple things. I agree. But I also know that, the people in this industry, my God, to do what they do on a daily basis, most people couldn't do it. And I don't think people realize that. I'm going to go to the vet. You have this misconception that, being in the veterinary world means you get to play with puppy and kittens all day, but it doesn't. Think about, I've lost pets in my life, and we've had to put them down, and I can't imagine doing it every single day. So the veterinary industry is it's the Wild West, and but I really love it. It's been a challenge, and but I love it.
No, Adam, it's amazing because you're talking like someone who's been in the vet industry for decades. It's a reflection you've had. It's interesting that you say that. I think it's phenomenal. I think your insight is great.